Everyone believed Ethan Blackwood, cold, untouchable billionaire, could never be with a woman, until the wedding night that proved the entire world wrong and left his bride breathless. Serena Vale first heard the rumor whispered behind velvet curtains at the Blackwood Foundation Gala, where she played violin among a sea of glittering gowns and champagne dreams. Ethan Blackwood, the name everyone spoke with awe and fear, was said to be incapable of being with a woman. Not romantically, not intimately, not at all. At first, Serena thought it was just another cruel myth people spun around powerful men. But then she saw him, standing near the marble staircase like a dark, beautiful ghost. Ethan Blackwood carried the weight of 100 eyes on him. He was tall, sharply sculpted, dressed in midnight black tailored perfection. His presence was powerful but shadowed, lonely in a way few people ever noticed. Serena noticed, especially when a striking red-haired socialite touched his arm. He froze, just a fraction, but enough for the whispers to sharpen. He can't be with women. It's impossible for him. Poor man. All that money and no ability to. Serena's bow paused midair. What a horrible thing to say. What a devastating rumor to carry. Yet Ethan didn't flinch again. He moved through the ballroom with commanding grace, cold eyes, and a posture built from discipline and secrets. Later, after the final applause faded and the musicians packed up, Serena slipped out to the balcony for air, only to find Ethan there, alone, looking out over the glittering city skyline. He seemed lost inside his own silence. She should have walked away. Instead, she stepped forward. "You look like someone who wants the night to end," she said softly. He turned, eyes as gray as a gathering storm meeting hers. His voice was low, rough, controlled. "Sometimes endings are easier than what people believe about you." Serena blinked. Was he talking about the rumor? Before she could speak, he straightened, clearing the vulnerability from his expression. "Thank you for your music tonight, Miss Vale." She nodded and walked away, but she felt it, the weight of his gaze lingering on her back. Not cold, not distant, not incapable. A man who couldn't be with a woman shouldn't look at her like that, like she was the first warmth he'd felt in years. Rumors lived long around Ethan Blackwood, but nothing lived longer than the silence he used as armor. Serena discovered this only a week after the gala, when a black luxury car arrived outside the small music studio where she taught children to play violin. The driver stepped out and handed her a sealed envelope with the Blackwood crest. Her heart stuttered. Inside was a single line. "Serena Vale, I require your presence." Ethan Blackwood. No explanation, no courtesy, just command. Against her better judgment, she went. The Blackwood penthouse felt like stepping into another world. Glass, light, shadows, and a man standing at the center of it all, his back to her, staring out at the city. He didn't turn when he spoke. "I have a proposition for you." Her throat tightened. "A proposition?" Now he turned, and for the first time, she saw something crack behind his storm-gray eyes. Something raw, something unguarded. "My board is forcing my hand. They're demanding I settle down. A marriage would stabilize my image and restore their confidence that I'm not as they say." "As they say," she whispered. The rumor. He didn't confirm it. He didn't deny it. He looked at her as if she was the only person he could ask this of. "You're the only woman who looked at me without expectation, without pity." Serena's lungs stilled. "You want me to marry you?" she breathed. "A contract marriage," he corrected softly. "No expectations, no demands, just your presence." "And what do I get in return?" His voice dropped. "Whatever you need to live the life you deserve." Her heart pounded painfully. This was insane, outrageous, impossible. And yet she saw it, loneliness carved into every line of his posture. A man at war with a rumor he never asked for. A man desperate for someone who didn't see him as broken. "Serena," he said, voice almost fragile. "I am not the monster the world has made me." She stepped closer, drawn into his gravity. "I don't believe you are," she whispered. For the first time, Ethan's breath trembled. "So, will you help me?" Serena didn't know what possessed her. Courage, curiosity, destiny. But she nodded. "Yes." Ethan closed his eyes for a long moment, as if her answer was the first relief he'd felt in years. And in that moment, Serena had no idea she just agreed to step into the most complicated, dangerous, passionate storm of her life. Their wedding was private, elegant, and cold. Ethan wore his mask of control flawlessly. Serena wore a satin dress that made her feel like she was walking into someone else's life. But beneath the beauty of the ceremony lay tension. Quiet, unspoken, trembling between them. No kiss. Barely a touch. Only a quiet exchange of rings. After signing the contract, Ethan walked her through the penthouse suite that would now be hers as much as his. It was vast, silent, and breathtaking. But when they entered the master bedroom, he paused. "You'll sleep here," he said gently. "I'll take the adjoining suite." She nodded, but a strange emptiness settled in her chest. Before leaving, Ethan hesitated in the doorway. "I don't expect anything from you," he said softly. "Least of all, closeness." Serena studied him, this powerful man so afraid of disappointing someone. "Ethan," she murmured, "I'm not here to judge you." Something flickered in his eyes. "Everyone judges me. Maybe they don't know you." He froze, but he didn't answer. Days turned into weeks. And though their marriage was cold on paper, something warm, dangerously warm, began to grow in the tiny spaces between them. Ethan started coming home earlier. Serena started eating dinner with him. They spoke not much but enough. Enough for her to see he wasn't cruel. Enough for him to see she wasn't afraid. One evening, after she finished playing violin in the music room he'd built for her, she caught him leaning silently in the doorway, watching her with a gaze that was anything but empty. Slow, controlled, hungry, though he didn't understand it. "Serena," he said softly, "why do you look at me like that?" "How?" she breathed. "Like I'm normal." She swallowed hard. "Because you are." He exhaled shakily. A single step brought him closer. Another brought them into the same breath. But before his fingers touched hers, he pulled back sharply, as if burned. "I can't," he whispered. "Can't what?" she asked. "Be what you think I am." And he left. Serena stood there, heart pounding, realizing something terrifying. He wasn't incapable. He was terrified. Of himself. Of desire. Of losing control. And Serena was becoming the only woman who could break that control. Serena woke one night to a sound. A groan, low, pained, coming from Ethan's side of the suite. She followed it, heart racing, and found his door ajar. Inside, Ethan writhed on the bed, shirtless, his body taut with tension. His breaths were ragged, sharp. Her heart froze. "Ethan?" His eyes snapped open, wild, unfocused. "Don't," he gasped. "Don't touch me." She paused, frightened yet drawn to him. "What's happening?" "Nightmares," he gritted. "Memories. Things I can't control." Serena moved slowly, carefully. "Let me help. I don't want to hurt you." "You won't." But when her fingertips brushed his cheek, he seized her wrist. Not violently, but with raw, terrified intensity. "Serena, I don't know how to be close to anyone." Her voice trembled with compassion. "Then let me teach you." He stared at her like she was light in a room he'd lived in darkness for too long. "Why?" he whispered. "Because you deserve to feel human," she said. "To feel wanted." Something unraveled inside him. With a shaking exhale, he released her wrist. "Stay," he murmured. "Just stay." She did. She lay beside him, their hands inches apart, listening to his breathing slow and soften. Before sleep claimed him, Ethan said the most heartbreaking thing she'd ever heard. "I'm not incapable, Serena. I'm just afraid I don't know how to be enough." And Serena Vale swore in that moment she would prove to him that he already was. Everything changed when Serena met the doctor. An envelope arrived addressed to Ethan, but Serena accidentally intercepted it while sorting the mail. Before she could deliver it, the name of the sender froze her. Dr. Harrison Cole, trauma specialist. Her blood chilled. Trauma? Not physical, emotional. But when she handed Ethan the envelope, his reaction confirmed everything. He stiffened, his face drained, his hands trembled barely, but enough. "You weren't supposed to see this," he said, voice tight. "Ethan," Serena whispered. "What happened to you?" He looked away sharply. "It doesn't matter. It matters to me." He slammed the envelope onto the desk. "Serena, I am broken in ways you can't imagine." "Then let me imagine." He stared at her, long, aching, tortured. Finally, he spoke. "When I was 17, someone I trusted took advantage of me. She used me, manipulated me, destroyed my sense of what intimacy meant." Serena's heart cracked. She told everyone I couldn't satisfy her, that I was incapable. Word spread. I became a joke, a rumor, a spectacle. He closed his eyes. And I believed it. Serena stepped closer. "Ethan, none of that was your fault." He swallowed hard. "You don't understand. I can't. You can." She cupped his face gently. "You just haven't felt safe with anyone." For a moment, Ethan leaned into her touch. But then, "I don't want to hurt you," he whispered. "You won't." He looked at her, raw and vulnerable. "I want you," he said shakily, "more than I've ever wanted anything." Serena's breath caught. "But I don't know how." She pressed her forehead to his. "Then learn with me." Serena didn't force him. She didn't pressure him. She simply stayed close, soft, patient, warm. Ethan's walls crumbled slowly, a hand brushing hers, a shared breath, a kiss fragile, trembling, his first real kiss in years. He groaned softly, forehead against hers. "Serena, I don't think I can stop." "You don't have to." The tension, years of fear, shame, longing, snapped all at once. He pulled her to him, mouth claiming hers with desperate hunger. And for the first time, Ethan Blackwood didn't hold back. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't broken. He wasn't incapable. He was a man in love, fierce, starving, breathtakingly gentle. When it was over, Serena lay tangled in his arms, heart pounding. Ethan brushed a trembling kiss against her temple. "They were wrong," he whispered. "So wrong." She smiled, tears gathering. "I know." He pulled her closer. "Serena, that was my first time feeling wanted." She kissed his chest softly. "Get used to it." Their marriage, once a contract, became real, too real. Ethan became protective, tender, attentive, and someone noticed. A paparazzi photo caught them holding hands outside the penthouse. Within hours, headlines exploded. Ethan Blackwood touching a woman? The rumor was false? Who is Serena Vale? Serena panicked. Ethan didn't. He stood before the cameras the next week, hand wrapped around hers, shoulders broad and proud. "For years," he said, "the world believed a lie about me. Tonight, I want to introduce the truth. My wife." Serena's breath hitched as he kissed her cheek publicly, something he would never have done before. The world gasped. The rumor died. But someone from Ethan's past wasn't done yet. Victoria Hale, the woman who destroyed Ethan at 17, reappeared like poison. She confronted Serena first. "He'll never be whole," she sneered. "You're a fool to think you changed him." Serena's voice was steady. "You don't know him anymore." Victoria smirked. "I know him better than you ever will." But when Ethan walked in, his expression turned deadly cold. "Get out," he said. Victoria laughed. "Ethan, you were nothing before me." "No," he growled, stepping forward. "I was nothing because of you." Serena watched, heartbreaking for him. "You don't control me anymore," Ethan said. "And you never will." Victoria paled at the venom in his voice. "Stay away from my wife." And just like that, the ghost of his past lost all power. Despite the victory, Ethan spiraled emotionally afterward. "What if she's right?" he whispered one night. "What if I'm not enough for you?" Serena cupped his face. "Ethan, you are everything I want." "I'm afraid," he admitted. "Not of being with you, but of losing you." "You're not losing me," she whispered. "I'm your wife, not by contract anymore, but by choice." He kissed her with quiet desperation. "Stay," he whispered. "I'm not going anywhere." And with those words, his walls finally collapsed for good. Months later, Ethan surprised her. He recreated their wedding, this time filled with warmth, candles, and music. "This time," he murmured, "I want to marry you without fear." Serena's eyes filled with tears. Their kiss, the kiss they never had the first time, was slow, deep, breathtaking. He lifted her into his arms. "Serena Vale Blackwood," he whispered against her lips. "You healed a man the world called broken." She smiled. "No, Ethan, you healed yourself. I just loved you through it." He kissed her again, hungry, confident, unafraid. And on this second wedding night, Ethan Blackwood proved the world wrong. He wasn't incapable. He wasn't broken. He wasn't rumor or fear. He was hers completely. And Serena Vale, breathless beneath him, knew one truth. Some men aren't meant to be whispered about. They're meant to be loved. Some stories begin in storm and silence, and end in fire and passion. Thank you for joining Serena and Ethan's unforgettable journey. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.